co-founder of Social X, and I am also in real estate property management field, and I'm also co-organizing global conference around the world. And so, we're going to start with our badass women here. We're going to start with Teresa.
Hey guys, okay, this one's on. I'm Teresa Pasquale. So my personal brand, I'm an international health and fitness expert and author and a mother of 2 little babies. Well, they're not really babies anymore. And then for my entrepreneurial side, I actually own a agency where we do consulting for social media strategy and influencer marketing.
Woo. Hi, my name is Ellen. It is on.
Can we turn it up a little bit?
Did you guys hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Hello. Hi, my name is Alyssa Chabrel, and I am a mindset and confidence coach. And my biggest passion is to help others find their passion and turn their impact into an income.
Nice.
Amazing.
Hello everyone, my name is Forbes Ryan. Forbes is in the magazine. And I will tell you, for a self-imposed little very shy girl with a broken nose and frizzy hair, I'm so excited to have a brand that says, you know what, if you stick to it long enough, you can do it.
That's awesome. Love it.
Thank you. And I love that little round of applause. If you don't know me, I spent most of my life on infomercials and late night television. I've grossed $2.5 billion selling products on television. Thank you. That is about understanding brands to the max. And then of course I brought my personal toy, not a sex toy, but something bump. I did it on purpose, seriously, that's not working. If you want to get sweaty with me right out there afterwards, come talk.
Hi everybody, I'm Taylor Brown. I am a fitness trainer and I'm also a mentor in the beauty industry now. So if you have frizzy hair, I got you.
What you looking at me?
Just so you have frizzy hair. And I basically help everyone, but mostly women, essentially make an additional income from their social media and their phones.
Awesome. Welcome everybody. Okay, so my question is, I want to start with actually learning more about you ladies, what industry you are in and why do you stay in that industry? So we can start with Taylor.
Oh yeah, let's go back.
Okay. Well, so like I said, I'm in the fitness industry, but I'm also in the beauty industry now, which I never, ever, ever in my life thought I would be in. I never thought I would be sitting here saying that I sell shampoo, but I do. I love every minute of it. I work with hundreds of women every single day, teaching them how to say yes to everything, take opportunities that come your way, stop being so scared of being in your bubble of a comfort zone, right? Because we all pretty much have those. I was like the worst person ever, and I went from being kind of in my own bubble, saying no to probably 95% of everything that came my way, to just saying yes to every single thing that comes my way, and it just has completely changed my life, so.
Awesome. I started out as a goofy, fat little kid. My mom was 260 pounds my whole life, and I watched her suffer. And when I left the house at 17, I thought, 1, I'm not going to be a stay-at-home mom, and that won't be my life. 2, I won't have the body that she did. And my why has been that a lot of my life. But I also want to be an actress and a TV host. I've done that. I've hosted everything from the X Games to being on Broadway and starring in movies. The universe has a funny way of slapping you upside your head, though, if you're meant for something else. And when I lost the lead in the TV series that I already shot the pilot for, and it was my big dream, I was on my knees going, what do I do now? Why is this happening? Both my parents have passed away, and a young man that I raised in South Central had just been murdered. I raised him for 12 years. A lot of my life came screeching to a halt, and I said, what am I supposed to be doing? And a little voice inside said, you know what, actually it was my agent, said, I'm gonna let you go, and you should go brand yourself. And I said, fuck you, you know what? Well, because nobody knows personal branding. What does that mean? My biggest regret in life is not asking for help. I grew up in a world where if you ask for help, I thought people would think I was less than. I've since now understood the transparency of going, I need your help, I can't do this alone. Teamwork does make the dream work. Got all the way to the National Fitness Hall of Fame, and I've got some crazy things, but again, my true mission is something I've been uncovering for the last 10 years. I don't talk about it a lot publicly. I do a thing called Forbes Factor Live. And I take people, and I can do this even in the hallway in the bathroom, I already did one today, where I meet you and I see who you could be. I'm not going to try to even understand how to market this because it sounds a little woo-woo. But I know what it's like to hurt so bad. I have now worked with tens of thousands of people. Literally, I have a studio right here. If you've been molested or hurt or told that you were not good enough, which is almost everyone that I talk to, even the really successful ones, I've kept people from killing themselves. And I am now looking to go, you know what? I'm going to take a stand and say that I matter enough to help you matter. And there's no label. I have no role model for this. I'm tired of people saying I'm a female Tony Robbins. He doesn't look good in high heels. And then just being a role model for women, because if you're sitting out there and you're a girl or you're a goofy guy, and you don't have someone that you look up to going, you know what, you need somebody. You need to go, wow, somebody paved the path for me. I didn't have that, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life being that for other people.
You know what, you just add to it, gorgeous girl.
No, what I love that you mentioned, what I love that you mentioned is the impact that you're having on people who are wanting to take their lives and who are maybe suicidal. And a little short version of my story is I dropped out of college. I quickly found out that that was not for me. It was not the route that I wanted to take. I just went to college because I was bullied in my hometown in Orlando. And I'm like, okay, let me leave, let me go to another place, and they're gonna love me here. Didn't happen that way. And I sent my parents a text. They're actually here today. Hi. I sent them a text and I said, you know what, guys, I'm coming home. I'm dropping out of college. And they were so supportive of it. And I got home with no money to my name, had no idea what I wanted to do, and I was suicidal. I tried taking my life multiple times. So I'm emotional because I love that when other women come together and impact and empower other people who go through those similar things, to help you feel like you're not alone. So the first opportunity I saw was online. Like, this online space is fucking awesome. I want to be a part of it. Like, you can grow and meet so many people. Casey Adams has slid into so many people's DMs. He DM'd me like yesterday, and it's so awesome. So I started in the fitness industry, and I started my impact there. And then I realized there's a lot of stuff with your mindset and mentality that goes hand in hand with fitness. And I have a story, and it needed to be shared because so many other people struggle with the same things, the depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts that I struggled with growing up. So now I'm able to impact people in that way and to be able to come on stage and let people know that, hey, I wanted to take my life. I hated who I was, but here I am now, and you can literally do the same exact thing.
So I think, like most people in the health and fitness space, I actually got into fitness for my own personal transformation. I used to be super unhealthy, and I talk about it a lot, how, you know, getting healthy, exercising, that whole lifestyle really changed my life. And so naturally I was inspired to where I was 24, 25 years old. I opened my first gym. I was a new mom. I was a new wife, new business owner, and long story short, we actually killed it. I opened my second gym. And at the end of about 5 years, it just became very, very stressful, and we ended up closing the gyms. I ended up getting really sick. It was a very bad time in my life. We went bankrupt. I kind of took a little hiatus, and I was like, you know what, me, because I'm crazy and I can't ever stop working, I was like, let me try a fitness competition. So I kind of started getting into the world of fitness competitions, and at that time, Instagram was brand new. And I started just documenting like me doing these fitness competitions, and for some reason people were really interested in it, so I was like, okay. So I was like, wow, people keep asking me for tips and advice, so let me write an ebook. So I wrote this ebook, and then it sold like crazy. And then all of a sudden I built this whole personal brand on Instagram. So long story short, it ended up really evolving my personal brand. I became an actual author. Now I have a big online business. I built a huge team of like over 100 women doing fitness competitions. As you can imagine, like, it's very tiring dealing with 100 crazy women who are hungry and tired. So I got a little bit worn out from that, and I kind of decided that I wanted to scale it a little bit better. So over the last year and a half, I've basically gotten rid of all my custom programs and dove into the world of digital marketing. So I've created my entire business now of like online marketing programs and content delivery programs. And through that, I actually joined some high-level mastermind programs, and I started realizing that these people that I was in these groups with are amazing. Like, some of them were like 5 times New York Times bestsellers, these brilliant doctors, and people who in real life they're amazing, but they have no idea how to use social media. So over the past year, I've also started doing a lot of consulting to where now I'm helping these amazing people take their brand that they're amazing in real life and build that online. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
So talking about personal branding. So I know all of you ladies have massive following. So my question is to you, what is the secret to massive engagement on your social media profiles? How do you keep it authentic? And you guys can start with whoever's ready first.
Yeah. So I think you said the key word is just being authentic, and I actually just, I don't know if anybody follows me here, but I was just snapped about this the other day that I think especially if you're just starting out, you know, if you have 100 or 200 followers and you see these people with a lot of followers and you're like, I don't know what to do, and so you go look at somebody else's social media and you're like, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do that. And the key is really just to be yourself, be authentic, be relatable. So people don't want to see this perfect picture. Maybe they do want to see the picture, but they want to know like how you got there. Like, what are you struggling with? What do you do in your everyday life? What are the problems you had to overcome? Because you need to relate to them, right? So it's great if you're hot, you have all these things, but they also want to know what makes you you. So I think that's the biggest thing, is being really authentic and being very relatable.
Awesome.
And I would just say, I would ask myself this question, like, how am I supposed to be teaching these things when I still go through them myself? But that's when you show your authenticity, you're able to be transparent online, and people respect you so much more for that. I chose my coaches last year, my very first time when I got into the online space, because they were so themselves. If they tried to be someone else, I would not work with them. So literally just imagine, at the end of the day, after every single person speaks, you had to choose one person to work with the rest of your life. Who would you want to work with? But what if we all came up here in like black suits, we all had brown hair, we all like had just the same style, we talked in a monotone voice, like no energy like this lady over here. How would you differentiate who you would want to work with? Like, think about that online. What makes you different? There are thousands of coaches, thousands of consultants, service providers. Everything that we say is already being done in the world. So what is going to set you apart? What's truly going to set you apart is that one thing that you're hiding. That is your superpower.
Yeah, that's it.
And so I'm going to add to that. So what do you do with the end in mind? So I go on and I'll see the big rolls and the houses and the monies and the 7-figure this and that. And I'm like, okay, that's nice and all. But ask yourself, what is your why? Why are you doing this? I mean, and it can be very selfish. Mine is, at this point, I think I want to matter. I also, for a long time, figured out what I want. And what I realized, if I ask you what you want, you're going to say, I want financial freedom. Well, I've got that for you here. Here's your pen. Secret to financial freedom is a giant cardboard box filled in under the bridge. Yeah, no, seriously. No phone bill, no electric bill. That's financial freedom. Being a multimillionaire has all kind of other problems, so that's not what you want. Or you want to travel. Well, but where? So I have this new philosophy that God is Grubhub. Can I share that? Yeah, God is Grubhub. Because if I ask you, and I do this all the time, what do you want? You'll tell me these generic things. Hello, Grubhub, I'm really hungry. Yes, ma'am, what do you want? Well, I would like I'd like some Chinese food. No, I don't want Chinese. I hate Chinese restaurant. Have a hamburger? Oh, no, I don't want to eat. And Grubhub will say, ma'am, call me back when you know what you want. Click. Hey, Grubhub, I would like a Caesar salad with extra chicken and croutons on the side. 15 minutes later, you know what shows up? Caesar salad, extra chicken, crouton on the sides. How did they know? Because that's what I wanted. If you want to stand up on the stage, if you want to be part of this, there's your path to do that, but you got to want it bad. And you got to see it for yourself. None of this happens by accident. And there's one other thing, is that it doesn't always happen the way you wanted it to. You were on the road to health and fitness. You were going one direction. Life is not a motorboat. It's that sailboat. Okay? 2 things about a sailboat. Over time, 1 degree leads you to a very different place. That one nugget that you took, that you acted on. But 2, I want to get here. I want to get here really bad, right? But the wind blows you this way. I call it constant course correction. The faster you can course correct, the faster you get where you actually want to go, but you've got to know what it is. And only you can decide what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the question? Engaging with your followers. I guess one of the biggest things for me is I'll just use one of my very best friends as an example. She has a massive following on Instagram, and everyone knows her for having the perfect body, okay? But she is the funniest individual I know, and she wasn't showing anybody that. Nobody knew what her personality was. Nobody knew that she was probably the most hilarious person that I knew, and I kept telling her, you have to just be yourself. She was so worried about every little photo and video that she posted. Will they like this workout? Well, is it different enough? Is it unique enough? I'm like, just be yourself. Now, her following is skyrocketing even more because she is just like being herself. She's being super weird, and I can say that about myself too. I I have an ability to come up with really great workouts. Like I can kill you in the gym and put you through the best workout ever. But my most viewed video on my Instagram was me being a complete dork, like eating chips, like literally shoving queso down my face. So when it comes to like being real, I think it's so important because people have this picture in their mind of like the fitness influencer and the beauty influencer and the social media, you know, this and that, but you guys just have to remember to be very raw and real and transparent, and at the end of the day, relate to people. I guess that would be my biggest
Advice.
takeaway. Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. So then, my next question is for you ladies is like we all know that to build a successful business, you have to make sure you have a personal brand set. So how did you build your personal brand? I know you have a Bikini Boss company, you ladies have coaching services. So how did you get to that point where you are, and how did you build your personal brand?
All right. So to be really honest, I am always putting myself in a room like this where I know for a fact, especially on a panel like this, I am not the smartest person in this room and I have so much to learn. I mean, I got into the fitness industry just by working out with my meathead friends in college, just because it was like the cool thing to do. And then I kind of branched off into the industry that I'm in now. And I think that, again, I just have branded myself on social media just by being super real and raw and natural and transparent and weird and quirky with my following. Getting to know the people that you're talking with. You know, if you guys are trying to build a brand and you're just that person who like, oh cool, I got like 8,000 likes and comments, but like I don't care about who those people are, you're not really gonna go anywhere and you're not gonna have any type of impact. You want to think of your brand and the people that are following you as your friends and your colleagues and people that are looking up to you. And I think one of the most important things is to never ever think that you are here and the people following you are down here, because I think that can change your entire brand and your persona as your brand and yourself.
So I want to be really mindful of time. We only have 8 minutes left. And a brand. So here's what I'm thinking about, you guys. Stop worrying about your brand. You don't have one.
Yeah.
Because, well, that's not the most important thing in the world. When you're 20 years old, I know what my brand is. You know what your brand is? Your brand is who you are in your role. I'm somebody who shows up and who's liable. My brand is when I give my word, I stick to it. My brand is I'm a good guy. I treat women, whatever that brand is. Focus on just being a good person. And stop worrying about what this brand, because you can't compete with somebody who's already out there. That's not your job. And you're spending so much freaking time thinking about it. And then wait, I need the Lambo. No, you don't. Get a Prius, make some small payments, and get on with your life. Gary Vee doesn't wear high heels.
I love that question because I never know how to answer it. When I am asked how did I build my brand, I believe it was because I was just authentic. I was myself. I told my story. I showed up the way that I showed up, and I was unapologetic about it. And when people ask me, how do you grow your following? You don't want to just grow a following. You want people who love you and who engage with you. And guess what? The best way to get that is to engage with other people. Comment on their posts, comment on their lives, show up for them. Like, message them, send them DMs, send them love, because you're putting that out to the universe and it's going to come right back to you. So if you want to build your brand, it starts with what you do offline. It doesn't start online. What you do in the real world, just like you said.
So true.
Well, I think we're all kind of similar here.
Yeah.
So I think when you talk about what is a brand, it's who are you and what are your values, right? Because ultimately you are your brand. And so for me, when I built my brand, it was just who I am and what I preach. So for me, mine was with my Bikini Boss brand, it was a lot about women empowerment, overcoming obstacles, overcoming people who aren't going to support you with what you're trying to do and your aspirations and things like that. And so naturally you're going to evolve and your brand is going to become what it is based on who you are. So like you said, I don't think you need to stress about like, oh my God, what is my brand? It's like, you are your brand.
Awesome. So I wanted to touch on before we have some talk about mentorship. So we all know how important it is to have a mentor. People spend thousands of dollars on coaching. to make sure that your vision is turned into action and then action is turned into profit. So I wanted to ask you, what does mentor mean to you? And if you could share what are your mentors and what you learned from them, and kind of for those who don't have a mentor, you know, kind of advise them on why they should have one.
So I can't stress enough, and we were just talking about this before, and I think the biggest thing to look at is not, can I afford it? It's, can you not afford it, right? And it's, you need to be willing to invest in yourself and to pay people. If you have somebody that can help you, that's been there, done that, and can give you the resources, it's 1,000% worth it to invest in that to elevate yourself to the next level. So for example, I belong to a couple of high-level mastermind groups that I pay a fortune for, but it's so invaluable to me because not only have I learned so much from it, it's accelerated my career growth, but the connections that I've made through those masterminds and those mentorships are invaluable.
Awesome.
I love it because one of my coaches is here today that I worked with for the first time last year, Brian Donovan somewhere. So again, if you look at it as this investment and this scary amount of money, which by the way, I was so freaking scared when they told me the amount that it was going to cost for me to join this mentorship and this mastermind. I asked the same question, like, how can I not afford this? Like, how can I not put myself in a position where I need to learn? Just like every single one of you obviously want to be a better person, want to invest in yourselves. So don't look at the number of the money and how much it costs. Really look at the return of investment of what you're going to get from the friendships and what you're going to learn, and find someone who embodies the person who you want to become or has already done something that you want to do in your life. I think that's all I have to say. We had a long conversation about this before, but it's like when up here, it's like, what else?
So when it comes to mentorship, you can pay a lot of money, and sometimes you should, and I have. Sometimes you can be like Casey Adams at 16 years old and find me in wherever we happen to be in Ty Lopez's living room.
He's 18 now.
What?
He's 18 now.
No, trust me, at 16. This is when I became Casey Adams' mentor, although he only mentioned the boys. Casey, where are you? No, I'm serious, dude. You mentioned Grant and Garrett. Did you didn't say Forbes Riley? Am I one of your mentors, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, in a big way. But you didn't pay me, that's the problem. Now, hello, we're going to talk. But I found it in my backyard, coaching him and a whole lot of young kids. How did I do that? I'm going to take a moment because I agree with everything that they said, but I just lost my mentor. A woman who helped found the infomercial industry. Most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. She looked a lot like the girl who stars in Bewitched. And open heart, beautiful, and I was always terrified to talk to her because she was so beautiful. And that sounds weird, but I was an ugly kid, right? And here's how you get someone like her to mentor me or to mentor Casey. You give more than you get. You walk up and go, not what can I take from you? How can I be of service to you? Can I spend a week doing everything you want, taking out your laundries because I don't have the $25,000? Don't think that that's the barrier to entry. And I have a vision of Denise laying in her closet and trying out all of her designer gowns, thinking one day I could do that. I mean, at one point I worked for a billionaire, so I wanted to know what that felt like, because those were my mentors. And Mrs. Gray said, you need to go get Louis Vuitton out of the trunk, and I turned to her and I said, who's in the trunk? She said, you'll learn. I said, you're right. So look around your left and right, your mentors are right here. When you can afford to get into these groups, do that. But also reach out to somebody, because I gotta tell you, every person that's made it as successful, I know a lot of them. We all had a struggle to get here. And if you hit us up at the right way, the right moment, with the right kind of energy, we're liable to just help you.
I'm an empath, and now you're gonna make me actually cry. It's not just sad. Okay, so actually, I was gonna say something that you just touched on, which is masterminds are amazing, and people do pay thousands and thousands of dollars to just be in a room or even on a Zoom call with these people. But what I was going to say is you don't have to go spend thousands of dollars. Surround yourself with these people on a daily basis. Your friends and the people that you're with every day should be your mentors in many, many ways. But what I do is literally, we call it personal development with a paycheck. That is what we do. My business partners, my friends, the people I go to the gym with, the people I go get coffee with, they are all people who either have things that I want, not materialistic things, not the Louis Vuittons, but, you know, happiness, success, all of these things. If you're surrounding yourself with people that have all of these things that you want and that can give some type of value to you, rather than just like, hey, want to go get like lit this weekend? You know, if those are the people that you're with every day, it's going to be a lot harder for you. So yeah, mentors are very important. I have a couple sitting in the audience today. And yeah, just surround yourself with many, many amazing, valuable, energetic people.
Awesome. I love it. So we have 30 seconds left. We'll take maybe 1 or 2 questions from the audience. If anybody has a question for our beautiful ladies here.
When somebody gives you the opportunity to ask a question, take it. Literally, stand up right now and say, hey, hi, everybody. You all want to meet us, you all want to know, and only one guy stood up. You're given the microphone. Because we need to hear the question. This is a great exercise. When someone asks you, take that advantage, because now we're all going to know who he is. You know, go for it.
Thank you.
So my name's Joe. I have a nonprofit that I'm working on building right now. It's for kids with cancer that are looking to just overcome the fears of obviously living at such a young age with such an awful disease. I'm looking to get a lot of exposure, and one of my things right now is trying to get national exposure. We did a release where we released 100 balloons from a top in Philadelphia, recorded a video, and it's basically just a motivational thing. I'm trying to get exposure on national things. So somebody like yourself who's been on late night talk shows, that has done lots of stuff with news, what is the best way to get in touch with somebody that's going to help me get that exposure that I'm looking for?
Okay, so number one, you're actually in a room with all of the people. We all texted or Instagrammed our friends right now. What is the name of your group?
So we're still working on it right now, but it's Leaders Today, Impact Winners Tomorrow.
How can people find you right now?
Well, I have 22,000 followers on Instagram, and I've been using that to leverage it so far.
Okay, do you hear what?
What's the name of your?
All we want is the name.
Of the brand?
The brand handle, I'm sorry, too
How
young.
can I find you on Instagram?
At Stiver. STAIBRR.
S-T-A. Okay, so rule number one, don't do that. Don't make something so hard that you have to spell it. No, I'm not kidding, because I can't even remember that. I have a platform called 360, Forbes Riding 360. It's got everything on there.
So for the movement, I'm going to rebrand it as not, but right now my Instagram handle.
Okay, so here's my advice. One, a great name people can't forget. Google. Okay, that's good. Seriously, a name people can't forget. So when you send it to everybody out here, instantly they're going to help you. Don't wait to get on the late night. You can have an impact right now. So connect. And the beautiful thing, give them a round of applause for standing up. And so, my point for you is we're helping kids with cancer. We're all, when we find you in the next 2 days, going to ask how we can help you. Is that a good start?
I appreciate that.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.